guys, I've already done a couple of long view videos. The first one was math, where I talked about where I think that Morgan can get before she leaves here. And I also did the 100 list of the literature that I want Morgan to read, because math, reading, and French, or foreign language, is our core here in homeschool, and language is the reason why we homeschool. Now there are all sorts of new reasons why we homeschool. You know, you kind of develop them or collect them along the way as you become a homeschooler. But I hadn't yet done a long view of language. If you don't have a language, or if you're not planning on adding a language into your homeschool, I think this video is equally helpful, because I'm a huge planner in I'm backwards planner. So I stick a pin somewhere, and I've mentioned that several times before, especially if there's a long time between many goals that you need to do or achieve before you can get to the main goal. And French, or a long-term thing, takes longer than 1 year to do. And so I have Morgan until she's passing the 12th grade. And so that's the pin. The 12th grade is where I kind of hit where I would like us to be. So if you are not interested in foreign languages, it's not about the foreign language. It's really about the planning that I like to do, how I plan, and how I really can keep myself on track. Nothing is written in stone. I am doing all of this according to how Morgan is thinking and feeling. In fact, I'm redoing this long-term plan. I already had one that I hadn't shown anyone, but I'm redoing it because recently Morgan has said that she's interested in taking the DELF in the middle of her 6th grade year. So that'll be this time next year. We will be really prepping for it. I will have registered for it. I have if you are interested in the foreign language part, if you're interested in French specifically, or any foreign language, I've got a playlist. So it explains the DELF and all of those things, and why you want to learn a foreign language, all that. I won't belabor it here. What I really am doing is showing the planning for it, so that I can get to where I think Morgan needs to get with a foreign language, at least one foreign language, if not 2 or more. Depends on if she likes it or not. So before I flip the screen and show you the whole plan up to 12th grade, I wanted to say something about language apps, because we do use a language app. We've used several in the past, many in fact, but the one that stuck was Duolingo. Now, this is not a curriculum. So when I use this, or when I write it down, to be clear, that's a very important supplement, but it is a supplement. Now, you can learn a foreign language with apps. You absolutely can. I believe you'll still be language mute unless you take a tutor on board with you to kind of get you out of your shell and get you speaking. But you can use Duolingo for more than just the 15-minute a day thing that the majority of us use it for. In Morgan's case, I like her to use it every single day, and it develops a routine. So that the main reason I use Duolingo is for the routine of practicing a language, of just doing it every single day, just like every other one of our core, every other, which is just 2, but 3 is enough. I like her to hear the sounds. I like her to hear it not in my accented French. I like her to hear true French. And it also shows her things that she hasn't yet done in school, so that when she gets to them with the Well-Trained Mind Academy, she's in French 1B. When she gets to there, she will have recognition. And so it may be even easier for her to understand. It also causes her to remember to conjugate those verbs, because conjugation is really key in making sure that you spell it right and you speak it right. But the majority of it, the big thing, is that it is a habit and a routine, and I like her to use that. And she sees me use it as well, so it's kind of a fun thing. All right, so let's flip you around and we'll do the plan. You've seen this book before and probably will in the future, but I had used this one for math, and so now I should flip for French. I want to start here with my main language goals. I have 3 of them. The first one is I really want Morgan to be able to test at a strong B1 DELF level. And that I'd like it really to be done really before the 12th grade. But so I'm going to plan the DELF B1 for the 11th grade. And then if we don't make it, then I'll have the 12th grade with her to try for B1 again. And then 2, I'd like her to pick up a 3rd language. And with that 3rd language, it would be really nice if she tested in that language to a very solid basic conversational level. That's it. I think having too many mini goals within a goal is too much. So this is quite enough. And when I started to lay out the plan for this, I actually worked backwards. So my plan is opposite off to the side here. I started with 12th grade and worked back, but for here, I'm going to start with where we have already come from, which was in the 4th grade. So I'll do this in chronological order for you. She started at home with me. We actually added a ton of different apps until we decided what one really stuck that Morgan liked, and it's Duolingo. And at the time she was doing, at any given app, she was doing 30 minutes a day. And then we did a lot of speaking from scripts because I would write out the scripts and she could speak them and not have to come up with the words, but she could practice actually speaking French and what it sounded like when she did. And I made sure to use all the words that she knew up to that point so we could have little mini conversations. And she really enjoyed that. Halfway through the year, I got Morgan one-on-one tutoring with Alliance Française. This really bolstered her confidence in speaking and was really great because I am not a native speaker and I would really like the people who teach her to be able to just really quickly correct those things for Morgan and not forget to teach her things. Last year, I'd completely forgotten to teach Morgan how to tell the time. So these teachers don't do those things. They don't leave gaps. Then we went into the 5th grade. And I had found that the Well-Trained Mind Academy, she could skip 1A since she took language at home with me, and she started with 1B. We still do Duolingo, and she's reading now. So with her class, she's reading Le Petit Prince. So to see where we came from, because Morgan couldn't speak French at all. She could say oui and non and je t'aime maman and bonsoir and bonne nuit. That was it. She didn't have anything else. So from here, from the beginning of 4th grade to where we are now in November of the 5th grade, Morgan is muddling through Le Petit Prince, and it really is no small feat. In fact, I'll get the book and show you how complicated it really is. I think the progression Morgan has made is important enough to show in this video. So we were here at nil, pretty much nil, and now Morgan is in class reading this. And I kind of think that's a really big deal. I'm really impressed with where she is and what she's doing. This is also a great story. So this really makes Morgan feel like she can continue on, and the teacher is really good at showing them that. But I also feel like Morgan's speaking is behind her listening, reading, and writing, because they're really 4 pillars: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Because of a couple of things. Because one, Morgan has asked, she said that she's ready to try taking the DELF in the winter of her 6th grade year. Also, we had planned to do world schooling in the winter of her 5th grade in about February, March timeframe. And I have moved that to the summer so that we are going to do summer immersion in France. And I think there's 2 M's here. So this will be several weeks in France over the summer during our summer break. And since we're doing the year-round homeschooling now, which is 6 weeks on, 1 week off, we'll still have a longer break in the summer, kind of a mini summer, and then we'll go into French immersion in France. And then we'll get to the 6th grade. Let's see, where should I do that? Probably just here. No, I should go over here. And Morgan will continue on with the Well-Trained Mind Academy. And here she will take French 1. Now, this is a high school credit course, but I will not count it as one. I really am taking to heart what Simplify Homeschool, their channel, Jill and Farrer's YouTube channel, said in their middle school video, that there should not be a lot of high school credits issued to a student prior to 9th grade. And I'm actually in agreement with that. I kind of was before I watched their channel. I think high school credits should be given out during high school, with some exceptions. And so they had said that the only courses, if you have a college-bound student, that a university will take seriously anyway is Algebra 1 in the 8th grade and Foreign Languages in the 8th grade. Those can count. So I won't bother to mark foreign languages as credits until then, and maybe not even then, because if Morgan is in French 4 in the 9th grade, it stands to reason that she did the work to get there. So I'm just not really worried about high school credits in college. If Morgan wants to get herself into college, she will do it with or without the French credits in middle school. But here also I'm going to reintroduce one-on-one speaking. So I'd like a tutor specifically to do speaking with her and to prepare her for the DELF. Now, I may either use Alliance Française, or if Morgan's developed a particular bond with her summer school teachers, they also, I've spoken with them, and they also do remote tutoring. They're very adept at prepping for GCSEs, prepping for DELF, prepping for whatever it is that the child is really striking for. And so we will do one-on-one tutoring to prep for the DELF, and it will either be Alliance Française tutor or it will be from Morgan's summer school. We'll continue with Duolingo. We'll register for the DELF. We'll have to register for it, and we have to take the DELF in person. So I think it's sometime in December, maybe it's in November, I'm not sure, but we'll have to drive and stay overnight in Minneapolis for that. That's the closest Alliance Française that will administer a test. And then again for summer, between 6th grade and 7th grade, we will do French immersion again. Then here's 7th grade. Now, I've told Morgan that once she's passed a DELF, once she has received a certificate in the DELF, she may choose to take on a third language. So she's thinking here about Korean, Greek, Italian, or Arabic. So if she still feels that way and she does pass the DELF 1A, there, I'll put DELF 1A there, she can pick up a third language in the 7th grade. So here I will put French 2, and I'll continue to write the Well-Trained Mind Academy. We can continue on with the Well-Trained Mind Academy, or if there's something else that we found that we like better, that's fine. But I'll just write Well-Trained Mind Academy to show that it's outschooling and it's a course that we're paying for. So here would be her third language if she wants. First level. I'd like her to continue tutoring because I know that speaking is very, very important, and it's just so important to speak. And so here I want her to continue tutoring one-on-one in French. She'll keep up with Duolingo, I think. I think she'll want to keep doing that then. And no DELF this year. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on my kid. And so I really would like her to just continue to enjoy French. Also, she's picking up the third language, so we really don't need to add the pressure of a DELF. I don't want a DELF to be pressure, other than the fact that taking any test like that is pressure itself. But I want this to be a fun experience for forever. I always want language to be really fun. And so I'm not going to push the DELF on that year. Unless she actually wants to take it. If she wants to take it, then she can do whatever she wants. That's fine. But then here we'll do summer again and French immersion. Now for the 8th grade. This is the grade where if Morgan wants it to count for high school credit, her languages will count along with Algebra 1. Also, this is a year I would hope Morgan would want to take the next DELF exam, which would be, if she passes at 1A, the next DELF exam, actually that's not 1A, that's A1. The next one will be A2. So here we have the Well-Trained Mind Academy, French 3, her third language, 2nd year. And I'd like her to continue one-on-one tutor. And Duolingo or some other app just to keep that routine going. Maybe. I have a feeling that these two things are going to keep her busy, and the one-on-one tutoring, we may be past that. In fact, if she's striking here for A2, she's probably beyond Duolingo at that point. So we'll register for DELF A2. We'll take the DELF. I don't know, either winter or summer, it doesn't matter to me. And receive DELF certificate in A2. Okay, and then no surprise here, in the summer, immersion. So let's go to the 9th grade. Here she will have French 4, her third language level 3, and continue one-on-one tutoring with French. And no more Duolingo. Oh, also, let's see, with this third language, I think she should have the option to test in whatever certificate is available in that language. And that's entirely up to her. So here again, summer school, immersion. And I still want, although technically she could do a summer immersion somewhere else in her third language, until she reaches a B1 level of proficiency in French, I really don't want her to go to summer school in the third language. I want Morgan's second language to be very strong. And so this is why any in-country immersion will remain in French, I think, until around the summer after the 10th grade. Now, Morgan can always convince me of otherwise. So this stuff is always up for discussion and conversation, but these are my thoughts so far. And that would be my argument to her. But all right, up for discussion. And here we are in 10th grade. French 5. And so with the well-trained mind academy, French 5 is the highest level. And so after this, we'll have to have other options for the 11th and 12th grade. So for now, we'll just write French 5, probably well-trained mind academy, third language, level 4. I'd like her to continue one-on-one French tutor. And here's where, if Morgan really likes this and she's enjoying languages, then I will give her an option here in the 10th grade to pick up one-on-one tutoring for speaking in her third language. And she can test in the language maybe. Here is summer immersion. And if she wants, she can talk me out of French immersion and choose to do another immersion in a different language. So here is where it changes a lot, because Morgan will have taken all of the French that she can with classes. Unless there's something else, there could be another school. I can look into that. I haven't even gotten that far yet, nor do I need to. But if we stick with this route, then I really think that at this point, Morgan she doesn't have to do a class. I think she could take a really good, serious 11th grade French class on her own with tutoring that also implements French literature, essay writing, and argument. I think all of those things will really, really help her achieve a B1. So here, I'd like her to prep for DELF B1. Now this actually, if Morgan achieves a B1, this really does open some doors for her if she wants to further her education overseas. So for instance, in France, if you're a foreigner, if you want to attend university there, you have to test at a B1 level. You probably have to do several other tests too, but you really have to have at least a B1. Otherwise, you're not going to make it in the university. So there are options here. Everything that she does kind of opens more and more doors. And that's kind of the whole point, is not to force her into something, but just allow more doors to open that she can either walk through or not. It absolutely doesn't matter. My job is to show her what her capabilities are, to make sure that she enjoys learning a foreign language. And none of this is to pressure her into, if you don't make it to B1, you failed. That's absolutely not a fact. But I want to show Morgan that it's okay to have goals. It's also okay to not achieve those goals. It's okay to work towards them and realize this is the point at which we have to stop. But I kind of have a feeling that French, I'm not sure about a third language or how far she'll want to go there, or maybe she'll want to divert and do more of that third language. I have a feeling French is going to be really, really fun for her, especially with continued summer immersion, because summer school is so fun. It really is. And I think she'll really enjoy that and meeting different people. So here in the 11th grade is where things really begin to change. She's maturing. She's capable of reading French literature and studying it. She can spend more than just this 1 year prepping for the DELF also. So she can take the 11th into the 12th grade for prepping for the DELF, as long as that is what she's doing. If we're going to do a language, I really want to go somewhere with it. Okay, if you heard that beep, my bread was finished, so I had to go and do that. Now, another big change here is for third language, Morgan can either choose to drop it or continue it. And she can also have the option, if she wants to drop this one, to pick up a fourth language. These are discussions that we may never get to, but I want to have them on here so that we may get to them and that I've planned for it. Also, a change here is if she really likes the third language, she may want to do an immersion in that language somewhere else over the summer. If she has reached a B1 DELF certificate, she may absolutely switch from French immersion summer school to a summer school immersion elsewhere in that third language. So there are other things in camps that she may want to do also and take part in, and these will all become Morgan's choices to make in conversations that we'll have. Because by now I will have been treating her as a total future adult, and she's entirely capable of deciding with assistance and with conversation and with care and support all of these things that she wants to begin to do. So here will be, let's see, summer school. I'll leave it as in French or third language. Now comes the 12th grade. She'll continue with one-on-one French tutor, along with French literature and essays. And I would envision putting this together as one course. And if she hasn't already, I would hope that she would take DELF B1 and achieve the certificate there. And she can either do this in the winter or in the summer after her 12th grade. And then I'm not sure if she'll continue with the third or fourth language. And then if she does, I'd prefer her to test in it sometime. So that if she's good enough and can handle it, then she'll be certified in more than one foreign language. And now here is really different. And I'm looking forward to this part. In summer, I contacted Middlebury, and they said that while they usually take much older students who have had a year or two of university under their belt, or business persons who need a real immersion so that they, no kidding, walk out after a few weeks able to speak much, much more than they were before the course. They would make an exception for a kid who is much younger, hasn't yet gone to university, but wants to take the immersion course. And so if she wants to take the Middlebury immersion course over the summer, it's several weeks long. It's really cool. I might even take it with her. So she has the option to do that if she wants. Now, I really only do these for big long-term projects, and so you likely, unless you want one, you likely won't see another one of these long-term planning in a different subject, but what you may see is me tweaking the ones that we have. So I would like to check in with myself, and I will do that on video when I go through and think, well, where are we? Are we where we want to be with math? Are we where we want to be with reading and literature? And are we where we want to be with French and with other languages? So I hope that helps, especially if you're a planner too. Maybe there's something that I do that you haven't considered, and vice versa. You are all really helpful in giving me input in your comments, and so please feel free to leave those and allow other people to read them as well. Well, thanks so much, you guys. See you later.